Hello, I'm Rofavilla, or Rofavilla if you wish, and I'm talking here from Guapimirim municipality in Rio de Janeiro state, Brazil, where I have been taking care for 30 years of a piece of Atlantic forest. Hmm. This Atlantic forest is near the foothill of the mountains north Rio de Janeiro state, and you have Atlantic forest from the coast up to the mountains. So it's a very special transition zone. But today I'm not here to talk about the forest itself. I'm here to show you a very badass tree. Yes, a tree? Badass? Let's see. A master of survival with a very special defense system. I show you. Here it is, the Embaúba. We have it here, a sibling, the smallest one here, that we can see. Hmm? This tree belongs to the Cecropia genus, into the Urticaceae family, the Rosales order. And this one is already 10 meters high, is about 3 years old. And that's one of the main characteristics of this tree, the very fast growing. They colonize open spaces very quickly because the competition in the forest is very, very fierce. Yeah? The fight for light, space, and nutrients of this not very rich soil that depends mainly of the organic matter that the own forest produce. So one characteristic we see is this big leaves. We have one leaf. This make it fool you like it's different leaves, but it's not. This is one leaf that have these lobes that we call folioles, and this helps to get most of the light they need. And you can see they grow alternate the petioles, that's the connection of the leaves with the trunk. Uh, you can see the leaves grows alternate in a spiral. You can see like boom, 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 boom. And that allows that every leaf take space to get some light. But the leaves only grows on the top, in the canopy, because they die soon after, leaving the trunk like this, like nude. And this is good because this leaf falls on the ground, like there, and they produce organic matter for the plant. So he brings his own nutrients resource with it. So it grows in very poor soils, acid soils, and it grows fast. Look at this guy. He's already 10 meters high and about 3 years and a half old. It's really fast growing. And they reproduce by wind pollination mainly, also use bugs and insects in general to help them to pollinate. And they produce elongated fruits where you can find even about 1 million small seeds that are eaten by monkeys, birds, bats. They love that, and they spread around the seeds and open the possibilities for another generations to grow around. You know? Well, that's very interesting. Also the root system that's very spread to hold such a tall tree. And there's a soil that's full of rocks under the soil because of the erosion of the mountains. There's a lot of granite and gneiss under this soil. And then they spread the roots in a net. Not very profound, but enough to hold this guy up. I hope so. they hold. But okay, that's fine. That's beautiful. A very adapted plant to grow in the very competitive environment. But what's the deal? Well, we talk about the defense system. Instead of thorns, spines, or even poison, this plant has a very, very sophisticated defense system. And that's why I urge you never, never touch this tree, bump on it, or rest your body against it. Because what happens with you is what happens with any stranger invader that try to walk around this tree. See these cuts on the tree? They are not accidental. They are not injuries. They are built with the tree. And that is the secret of the system of defense. I show you now. So just a little. See, in seconds we have the tree completely covered by these aggressive ants from the Azteca genus. Yes, Azteca warriors, you may say, because they really take care of the tree. They're now furious around, looking for the invader who dared to disturb their peace. And the Cecropia, we call in Portuguese embaúba, the ants formiga de embaúba, that are very known here by the countryside people, and they avoid to touch this tree. And it's built by itself with chambers inside, and also providing food. Yeah. And very interesting because most of the Cecropia genus is carried by Azteca genus alone. No other ants genus try to occupy this space. Probably because some chemical bonds that establish along millions of years of coevolution, and they have special food, sugar glandules that give them the proper food. Some of them are located inside in the pecíolo, the connection between the leaf and the trunk. So we have here a coevolution that is just amazing. What better than have, instead of thorns or poison, a private army for yourself. And don't be fooled, they are very aggressive. They hurt a lot. So just putting your hands on this tree, you can be covered in seconds by these very nasty little guys. But the tree isn't born with the ants. When the time of reproduction comes, they find a tree without nest, and the winged queen flies, and after being fecunded by the also winged males, she will look for a Cecropia tree where she's going to carve with her mandibles away inside the chambers, and there we will start to put the eggs, and the colony will grow and take the tree as they grow. So it's a very special way of protection, isn't it? Let me show a young one that is still doesn't have Azteca ants colony.